Criticism and controversy in World Bank groups. The World Bank has long been criticized by the non-governmental organizations such as the indigenous rights groups, Survival International, and academic including Henry Hazlitt, Ludwig von Mises, and its former chief economist Joseph Stiglitz. And Henry Hazlitt argued that the World Bank, along with the monetary system it was designed within the would promote world inflation and a world in the world. International trade is state dominated. When they were being advocated, Stiglitz argued that the so-called free market reform policies that the bank advocates are often harmful to economic development if they implemented badly too quickly in the wrong sequences on in the weak uncompetitive economics. Similarly, Carmen Gorio noticed that these reforms have introduced in a developing countries regulatory institutions typically of the common law. Legal transition become because illegal or more efficient according to the legal origin theory. The latter, however, has been fiercely criticized since it does not take into the account that the legal institutions transplanted during the European colonization have been then reformed. These issues make the legal origin theory inference unreliable and the World Bank reform detrimental. One of the most common criticisms of the World Bank has been the way in which it is governed. While the World Bank represented 188 countries, it is run by a small number of the economically powerful countries. These countries, which also provide most of the institution funding, choose the leadership and senior management of the World Bank and their interests dominated the bank. And in Titus, Alexander argues that the unequal voting power of the Western countries and the World Bank role in developing the countries, making it similar to the South African Development Bank under the apartheid and therefore a pillar of the global apartheid. In the 1990s, the World Bank and the IMF forged the Washington Consensus policies that include the deregulation and liberalization, the market and privatization, and the downscaling of the government. Though the Washington Consensus was conceived as a policy that would best promote development, it was criticized for the ignoring equity, employment, and how reforms like privatization was carried out. Joseph Stiglitz argues that the Washington Consensus placed too much emphasis on the growth of GDP and not enough on the permanence of the growth or on whether growth contribution to the better living standards. The United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations support criticized the World Bank and other international financial institutions for the focusing too much on issuing loan rather than on achieving concrete development results within the finite period of the time, and called on the institution to the strengthening anti-corruption efforts. James Ferguson has argued that the main effects of the main development project carried out by the World Bank or and similar organization is not the alleviation of the poverty. Instead, the project often survive to expand the exercise of the bureaucratic state power. Though his case studied of the development projects in the Thaba Tasika, he assured that the World Bank characterization of the economic condition in the Lesotho was flawed and the bank ignored the political and cultural charter of the state is in crafting their project. As a result, the projects failed to help the poor but succeeded in expanding the government bureaucracy. Criticism of the World Bank and the other organization often takes the form of the protesting, such as the World Bank Oslo 2002 protest, the 2007 October Rebellion, and the 1999 Battle of the City. Such demonstrations have occurred all over the world, even among the Brazilian Kayapo people. Another source of criticism has been the tradition of the having an American had the bank implemented because the United States provides the majority of the World Bank funding. When economists from the World Bank visits poor countries to dispense cash and advice observed the economists in 2012, they routinely tell governments to reject cronyism and they fill each important job with the best candidates available. It is good advice the World Bank should take it. Jim Yong Kim, a Korean American, is the most recently appointed president of the World Bank.